Mafia is a series that I really love. I have enjoyed and loved each one of them. In many cases, I think they have some of the best writing in video games too. They tell these compelling stories, with shooting and driving being at the center of the gameplay, with some other distractions as well, like maybe fist fighting, a bit of stealth, or in this new one, knife fighting. I have seen this series as more of an underdog, and something that always deserves some more attention. Some entries even more than others. I was thrilled to hear that another one was being made. After now finishing Mafia: The Old Country, I am satisfied with the experience. I think I will play it again. It feels old-fashioned, and while it does have many issues and rough edges, I think the good does then edge above the problems it had. It is somewhere in the middle of being both flawed and underrated at the same time. It is one of those experiences from 2025 that I enjoyed a lot.
I'll get them out of there.
As an overall thing, I really enjoyed the game. The more I think on it, while the flaws are present, I find myself finding other elements to enjoy too. It feels a bit like a small miracle that we ended up getting another Mafia, and while I really love 3, getting a game that is more in line with the style of 1 and 2 was the best choice for the franchise. Fans wanted something like this. Now, how they feel about The Old Country may vary. I think at the very least, this was the proper direction to take. Linear, story-focused, and not a big open world game with so many things to do. It's a big space that you have, and this is where the missions and story takes place. Yes, the added on free play mode did have more supplemental content, which is fine to do, but the main focus of the experience is on the story of Enzo. The tale they have here is a mob story that is very familiar. It is a predictable game, and for the most part I think it executes the cliches of the genre well, to tell something that, while very predictable, it was highly entertaining for the entire run. In some cases you might even think this feels like Mafia 1 done again, but in Italy. Enzo thankfully is a character that we can root for, when he isn't making forced decisions at the end of the game to get the plot moving in a certain direction. The character is a compelling one, an individual who starts at zero and completely works his way up through the family. He has a woman that he cares about and a family that he's trying to provide for with that, and support. He is loyal, a good soldier, and someone you would always want on your side. Enzo easily stands next to the other excellent protagonists of the franchise. The side characters are interesting too, while underdeveloped in some ways, and in other ways I just wish that we got some more time with Enzo. What interactions that are there are really good. The familiar chapter structure allows for the player to play this game in a set of delightful chunks, as there being a main focus for each chapter and then a plot through line with many elements going through with everything. As someone who sometimes does not have a lot of time to play in one sitting, I could play this title a chapter a night and feel really satisfied with that experience. The story has good pacing too. I think at the heart of it, it's Enzo, and he is strong and does a lot of the heavy lifting for the narrative.
How many of these Totukas are there? Stay on them! Got something for you! Reloading! No bullets!
So what will you be doing in Mafia: The Old Country? Well, the large amount of the gameplay is centered around on the shooting. This is a cover-based third-person shooter. Generally, the guns feel good to fire and use, with me having a huge preference towards any of the shotguns. They just handle better, and their range was pretty good as well. I will probably mention this again, but if you're playing this for the first time, turn off the auto-aim. In this case, the snap aiming hinders the shooting, as I was having a better experience without it. You get a nice selection of guns, but I also do wish that they all felt as good as the shotguns in this game. Handguns come in a close second and are reliable too. The blind fire can almost feel like cheating at times with how useful it is. Grenades are delightful as well. Overall, it's solid. Outside of this, there are stealth encounters and areas that allow for both loud and stealth play. I wasn't too interested in the stealth in this, it felt slow, though the addition of moving bodies, throwing a coin to distract your enemies, and using the knife was also appreciated. I think I enjoyed the stealth a bit more in 3, it certainly felt faster in that game. Driving handles well, along with the horses. The scenery is beautiful, so driving in these missions is a really nice break from the action. And some of the chases are rather fun too. Knife fights are rather big, but each one of these feels like the same fight over and over again. They are fun, but needed more variation to them. I think the gameplay is at its best when you're shooting at something, and thankfully that's the bulk of the game. There are some nice buffs that you can unlock and attach to your character to improve some stats. They are minor but allow for some appreciated customization. Money can be used for outfits and guns too. Just don't expect anything extensive. The focus is on the main story missions and honestly, the shooting. To the game's credit, they do know how to sell a set piece, and I think they looked a bit too to the Uncharted games for inspiration. Solid gameplay and good shotgunning action. When it comes to Mafia the Old Country and its flaws, while I did really enjoy the game, it has plenty of issues that pop up while playing it. Let's start out with some of the action. While I generally like the shooting, I think some of the hit and impact is rather inconsistent, with enemies sometimes having really rewarding actions and others just not being as reactive as others. The AI is a mixed bag too. If you throw a grenade, there's a good chance they're just going to shout at you and then just stare at the grenade until it blows them up, with little to no attempt to even get out of the way or throw it back at you. Generally, I wanted a bit more bang to my guns in this. Also, during each of the chases and race sequences in this game, you can kind of see a bit behind the curtain as the person or persons that you're up against will sort of slow down to let you catch up. How this is done is very obvious, and it can take some of the magic and illusion out of the sequences. While I appreciated that stealth was an option, and even having areas where you could do both stealth and loud shooting, I think the stealth was just okay in this. If you aren't using the knife, the takedowns are very slow. The coin throw and moving bodies are nice additions like I mentioned, but overall the stealth just needed more, whereas the shooting is just so much better, that when given the option to do stealth or loud in one area, I always decide to do the shooting. While I generally enjoyed the predictable story, there are parts that could have used more development and time spent with different relationships in the game, like more time with Luca or Cesare, and the ending has a bunch of problems that leads to a very mixed bag feeling on certain events. I do have something that I want to discuss related to the story that's very spoiler heavy, so I'm going to put up a disclaimer here and skip to that timestamp if you want to avoid the spoilers then. So when looking at the ending of the game, I think this is here where you're going to have an ending that's very much a mixed bag. There's parts that I liked and others that felt forced, poorly written, or just underdeveloped. So throughout the entire game, Enzo and Isabella have this hidden romance. She is the daughter of the Dawn. Enzo treats her well and is hoping that one day, through earning that respect and performing well for the Dawn, that he'll eventually earn that right to then marry Isabella. At the end of the game, you take out all the competition, and those that would try to take you out, including another Dawn that was above Terezi. After this, Don Terezi wants to then marry Isabella to the son of the Dawn you just killed, the one who betrayed your family. None of this makes any sense at all. It's not consistent with Terezi at all too. He is an all or nothing kind of guy. You fail him once, you're pretty much done. Why would he then marry his daughter to this beta male? He doesn't even seem worthy to her at all. He may be doing it for additional potential wealth, in with that son is now able to play ball with, say, Don Terezi. But with this being Mafia and the old times, the son is still part of the family line that I think Terezi would have just been like wipe out that entire stain because of the father betraying them. This is all essentially there to kind of roadblock Enzo's way to marry Isabella. It's a forced shift in events that is not in line with the established personalities of the characters. So Enzo and Isabella try to leave and go to America. This makes sense. Luca died and said get out. But this all stopped because they are both caught. Isabella was confessing to the priest at one of the churches about her actions with Enzo and all of that. The priest then ratted her out. Isabella should have known better considering she knows her father and does not like how he acts. This felt like a really dumb move and action that Isabella would honestly not make. This then leads to a last-ditch attempt for Enzo to rescue Isabella. He fights the Don, he fights his friend Cesare, who is the nephew of the Don. There is a point after killing the Don that Enzo then accepts Cesare's hand, and Cesare then kills Enzo. The tragic death of Enzo fits the story, you cannot escape this life, but how this is done, it's forced, cheap, and not consistent with the character of Enzo. Enzo embraces Cesare before his death, and at this point, Enzo honestly would not have done that. Following this, you play as Isabella. You end up in Empire Bay and the game ends, leaving it a bit open-ended, with a pregnant Isabella in Empire Bay. I do wonder if we're going to see a direct sequel to that game. Maybe we'll see a game as we play as Isabella's kid. I do hope that it is a son. While you do play as Isabella at the end of the game, this is a Mafia game. I don't want to play a full game as her. The Mafia series has strong female characters, of course, but the leads should be men. It's more of a boys' club in that sense, and I want that to continue. Having a sequel where you play as her son, maybe having some sort of revenge type element with Cesare, that would complicate events and make for an interesting premise, but outside of that, I'm not too sure where they're gonna go. What I don't want is for Isabella to be retconned into being the mom of a known character that is already established. If it fits, maybe it would work. I like Isabella getting out with her baby, I just don't really like how she got there. The Don acts out of character, Enzo acts out of character, and it leads to some very unsatisfying elements to an otherwise good story.
I'm out! Reloading! Here you go! He's going to kill me!
When it comes to my overall feelings of Mafia: The Old Country, I do really enjoy the game. I want to play it again, see if I love it. The potential is there, even with the issues. I think the shotgun shooting is a lot of fun, the game looks great, the music is awesome. The story, while very predictable, is very entertaining. Some of the characters are really good, with another strong lead. Yes, there are underdeveloped elements of the story, along with many issues with the ending, but as a whole, I really did have a very good time with this game. A linear story-focused game that is actually good and doesn't waste your time, and released at a reduced price. Yes, sign me up for more of these. I heard that this game was restarted during development at one point, and they didn't have much time for this one. While I think this new current team at Hangar 13 overall still has more elements to really improve on, they really got many of those core tenets that the Mafia games all have. My hope is that they can take what they did here and make a better game. I am happy this sold well too, because it means we're gonna see more games like this, not being sold at $70. When looking at all of the Mafia games, Mafia 1, Mafia 2, 3, and the remake of 1, and now this, I would put The Old Country as the bottom one. I do think the others are much better. While this is at the bottom, I do still think it's a worthy entry. I would even say that it's a bit underrated as well. I'd recommend Mafia: The Old Country, and I plan on playing it again myself. Have you played Mafia: The Old Country? What are your thoughts on this game? What should the next Mafia game be? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. And before we end this video, I want to thank Fanatical for giving me a code to be able to feature this game on my channel. If you're interested in any PC games or anything like that, please check out the affiliate link down below in the pinned comment, because it all goes to help the channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.